This is solving multi-step equations. Remember to pause it, rewind, and stop to write as much as you need to make it useful. Also remember to watch out for the quiz question sign. Make sure you take special note of that. Something to highlight or circle anytime you see the star. Make sure you pay extra attention. Maybe rewatch that portion. First thing I want you guys to see is to do this, we're going to use some of the previous rules. So that means that we're trying to solve for one of the variable, not -1. So if we need to add or subtract, multiply or divide, whatever we do, we have to do the same thing to both sides. And we're going to leave the variable term till last. Now you don't have to do this, but if you get in the habit of doing this, it'll make sure you do things in the correct order. Consecutive means in a row. We have consecutive integer problems. Here's how you'll represent those. So notice consecutive integers. This is how you represent n plus 1, n plus 2, even and odd. That's something that's commonly missed. Make sure you take special note of that. Integers are counting numbers. There's no fractions. Now here's an example of some consecutive odd and consecutive even integers. Alright, let's try some of the example problems. The first thing I'm going to look at is number 1, and I've rewritten it a little bit bigger so it's easier for you to see. First thing, like I talk about, is addition of the opposite. It's going to be 2 marks with my pencil. It was a -4. Going to make 2 marks. 1, 2. So it's plus a -4, so I'm not confused by that. Okay, the next thing I want to do, make sure you remember this, is I'm going to leave the variable term till last. My variable term is this, so I'm going to leave that till last. I'm going to take care of this -4. Since it's a -4, I'm going to add 4 on both sides. And just to make sure you're not confused, I'm going to put a dashed line here where the equal sign is. I have to do the same thing on both sides. So I'm left with 11x equals 33. Now I can deal with my variable term. It's 11 multiplied by x. That's why it's written right next to it. Divide by 11. And x is equal to 3. Number 2. I have x plus 7 divided by 3 is equal to 5. So once again, I'm going to leave the variable part till last. In this case, this is my variable term, x plus 7. So I'm going to deal with this 3 and leave this part till last. Since it's x plus 7 divided by 3, I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. Multiply both sides by 3 over 1. I don't need to write the 1 over here. I could, but it's not necessary. Cancel those out. X plus 7 is equal to 15. Now I can work from there. Since it's plus 7, going to subtract 7 on both sides, making sure that I do things on the same on both sides of the equal sign. So I get x is equal to 8. And number 3. So looking at number 3, first thing I'm going to do is use addition of the opposite. Remember, it's 2 marks of the pencil. So it's a -3p. I'm going to change that to plus a negative. Then I want to leave the variable term till last. Here's my variable term. I'm going to leave that. I have this positive 18, so I need to subtract 18 on both sides. So I get negative 3p is equal to 54. Then divide by a negative 3 on both sides. So p is equal to a negative 18.